Capricorns, Power and Light Tarot coming at you with the reading. Let's see what we have today for you guys with this tarot reading. And we have the pig spirit, and use your mind wisely. Now, I didn't know pigs were smart. I think they are, though. It's really interesting. Yeah, because, right? Why would they say that? I think somebody mentioned that to me, but here he is. And the pig's here with these little kind of, I don't know, flowers around him. Really, it's kind of cute though. Let's see what else we have. Use your mind wisely. Almost like he's got these spots on, almost like this is his third eye right in the middle of his forehead. The white raven spirit. Interesting. The white raven, and this is trust in the magic. So this is, this just means really this pig spirit. It talks about, you're smart basically if you trust in the magic. Trust in your intuition. That's what it's about, right? The ravens are always spiritual birds. They are, as are the crows. And that's their cousin, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's their cousin, or maybe it's their stepsister. I don't know, but something like that, right? Starfish spirit, open to infinite possibility. Let's see what else we have. And we have some of these cards today. And we have totality. Yeah, that's a very interesting card, and we're going to talk about it. We have the Fool. All right, we know the Fool here. There's somebody's taking a leap of faith, and beyond illusion, and that is judgment. So beyond illusion, this means that somebody had an awakening. That's what that means. And his face is a butterfly, right? Beyond illusion. Okay, so somebody had a spiritual awakening here, and let's go ahead and look at the totality card. And give me a second, you guys. These cards are just kind of a trip. Here it is, and it is the Five of Wands. And usually that is challenging, right? Usually. And totality, every moment there's a possibility to be total. Whatsoever you are doing, be absorbed in it so utterly that the mind thinks nothing is just there, it's just a presence. And more totality will be coming. Yeah, I don't like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of the opposite of multitasking, right? But, if we need to multitask, it's fine, but it's not really that great for you because you are not practicing being mindful and present. No. And when you are present and mindful, your intuition just works much better. It really does because you're in the moment, right? And it's hard to really kind of judge anything, right? Because we're using our intuition, we're using our judgment basically, but it's hard to really judge anything if we are not present in our lives. It's really not. Yeah. And more totality will be coming, and the taste of totality will make you more and more capable of being total. Yeah, the totality makes you build your self-esteem. Yeah, it does. And try to see when you are not total. These are the moments which have to be dropped slowly when you are not total. Whenever you are in the head thinking, brooding, calculating, cunning, clever, you are not total. Slowly slip out of those moments. It's just an old habit. Habits die hard, but they die certainly. If one persists, they die. Yeah, but they die certainly if one persists. Yeah, this is somebody here had an awakening, and they're realizing that their totality or their presence and their mindfulness is really important, and that I believe helped them have an awakening, or they simply had an awakening, and now that is helping them be mindful and really present in the moment. You could be saying that's not very, might not sound important, but it really is, especially if you're in a relationship and you are not fully present. Oh my God, or you're not, it's most likely will not last, right? Yeah, and people are in relationships and they're not present. They're being distracted by the game, or they're going with their buddies, or or with their girlfriends, or they're just not really present even when they're with that partner. Yeah, some people do that stuff. Yeah, and we have the bear, nurture creativity and return to the sweetness of life. Wow, somebody is feeling really kind of good here, it looks like, or they are coming around at least. Recognize the riches of the past and the abundance of the present. This is the bison. I feel like you got this card. I rarely use them, but I did use them like the other day. So, after a long time. But This is understanding that, the past is rich and it teaches us major, and to be also realize the abundance of the present. Somebody kind of like took something for granted here. And that's how it looks. Like maybe somebody took you for granted, Capricorn, but they look like they are not doing that now. That's how that looks right there. Let's see. Let's get into the tarot. If you guys want to get a psychic reading with me or a tarot reading, I always check my work for accuracies, and they are, yeah. And no need to check with the tarot because, but the psychic, I always get feedback, right? Of course. Um, yeah. And if you don't understand somebody, you don't know them, get a psychic reading. Also, if you have a question about your own situation, I I can help. I often do. Yeah. More often than not. I'm also a life coach. Yeah. So, and an astrologer. Yeah. So, uh, all that stuff's real helpful. It is past life regression. Yeah, and you can get one of those too. And those are super helpful to empower you, to make you aware of what you were doing in a past life and a lesson that you need to learn. Yeah, we all need to learn lessons, and that's why we are here. We are here seeking awareness. That's what we're doing on this in this physical experience. So everything's below in the description box. Yes, it is. Your astrology chart is about you seeking awareness and what happens between you finally seeking it, basically, and all that time in between. Yes, since you were born. Highly interesting. And past lives is mentioned in there too. Yeah, and so Mystic Sense has a free 5-minute psychic reading. Check out the description box below. So we have the sun at the bottom of the deck, Capricorn. Let's see what else we have. Two of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, Three of Wands. And that's in the past. And the current situation, there is some type of regret or grieving or suffering, sadness. Yeah, there is. And so somebody realizes something about their past that is really important. And we have in the past here, somebody's turning their back on somebody or something, right? Maybe it's a quality, since we are, mentioning all this mindfulness, right? Totality and being present. Maybe somebody didn't really know how to do that. I know some people who don't. Yeah, I do. And yeah. Yeah, they don't know how to be present and they don't really know who they are deep down. No, deep down. No, they don't. They only have kind of a surface understanding of themselves. And some people are too afraid to really look, to really take a good look. Yeah, they are. Let's move this and see what we have and straighten this out. Let's see what we got, Capricorn. Yeah, I'm in the, let's move these cards up. Yeah, I'm going to need a new tripod here, or, yeah, I am. And I'm being gentle with it right now. All right. And showing it some appreciation so it'll get me through this reading. Yeah, we need a new one over here. So let's see. We have the Four of Wands here and the King of Pentacles, the Strength card. I flipped the cards, and we have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, there we go. So here in the reading is maybe two people, the King and the Queen. Oh, and the King of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. There could be third party energy here. There could be. Uh, there could always be, right? And maybe you're saying no, there's not, and that's this is a general reading, but it doesn't even have to be one now. It could just be the a third party. Could be you're in a relationship with somebody and you're really in love with somebody else. That's a third party. Even if you're not seeing them, they're still in your psyche. Yeah, even if you're not like, you know, uh, doing that. And here we have the two, we start with the Two of Swords. And so that is really the first card in the reading. And even though this is in the past. And so what this tells me is that somebody here maybe had two minds about something, or they had two things to deal with and they felt kind of blocked, they felt kind of stuck. But in the end, with this Ace of Swords here, which represents a new beginning, and beyond illusion is an awakening, this person, like, they drop the swords. In other words, well, I'm just going to choose either one, or I've had an awakening and I need to move toward that type of energy. I feel like somebody wants to be very present for you, Capricorn, in your life, present and attentive, and really pay attention to the relationship. That's how it looks in this reading. That person may be grieving an ending, or they're maybe they're grieving you. They could be, and they could have regret. This doesn't always have to be grieving. No, it's the only kind of sad card here. But we have overwhelm, right? Excuse me, guys. And so this may not. This can be regret, and I feel like it is. Yeah, I feel like that's more regret. Somebody wants to be totally available for you. That's what this is about. That's what that totality card is. And the Queen of Pentacles, we'll get a card on her because that may be you. We want to see what else we have. We have the King of Wands now. So, it could be Aries, Leo, or Sag. The King of Cups is Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And this King of Pentacles is Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. And in the past, I feel like we have somebody who kind of surrendered to being really what you need, or being there for you, or being completely, like, totally into you, or giving you all their attention. There is something like that here. I mean, that's what this is about, I believe. Yeah. And so that person knows that they want to do that here. They feel like they have to do it for their own kind of spiritual growth. Yeah, relationships can be built on two people really growing together, but relationships can break up because you feel like you can't grow with somebody, right? They're completely on a different page. But in this reading, it looks like somebody has just probably already grown, and went through an awakening, and now they want to be completely attentive. Yeah, Eight of Swords is a release in the past. It's over here because here's the Five of Cups, which is some type of regret or sadness. This is a release over here in the past. Something was released here, and with the Three of Wands, it was like, well, yeah, because I need to step into my future, and I want my future to be something different. And he's looking at the ships coming in. It is also a card of turning your back on the past, like it's over, like this is like I'm not really into this anymore, like I'm not present. This is, it's something I learned of about in the past, or learned from rather, or maybe something I'm honoring, but I'm not here anymore. I'm not really present. So that's why we have the bison, and this is recognize the riches of the past and the abundance of the future, or of the present rather. Yeah. So that's what totality was talking about. Be mindful, and when you are mindful and present, right, and in the moment, you are more appreciative in your life, and you show more gratitude, and you experience more gratitude. Yeah, gratitude is so, like, it's so underrated. Yeah, and if you live in the United States, you'll know that some things are completely overrated. Yeah, and you're like, okay, who said that was good, right? Who said that? Who right? Who died and left you the critic, or the one who creates the reviews, right? All right. So in the current situation is some type of regret or grieving with the Ace of Swords. And I feel like something ends here with the Five of Cups. Something does end, something's released, and it's for a new beginning in love. Here's the King of Cups, and showing up with the Seven of Swords, and this is in the upright. There's some type of plan here. There was a plan here. Somebody's trusting in the magic, or trusting in the divine, in divine wisdom, right? And what is trusting in divine wisdom mean? It means trusting that everything will be okay and all is well. It doesn't mean if you're sitting on the couch and you're worried about your bank account. No, that's not the same thing. But all is well. You live with gratitude. You do your best every day, and you're present, and and things will turn out okay. You have to trust in divine wisdom. It's almost like divine wisdom is like, if you don't trust in it, it's kind of like a friend. And if you don't really like trust in them having your back, or, being there for you when you need them, or something like that, then, or showing appreciation even. Yeah, trusting in divine wisdom is a form of, it is an act of gratitude. It really is. Yeah. And so, but this Two of Swords here, somebody has surrendered to divine wisdom. Yeah, they have. For sure they have. Now, here we have the Queen of Wands. We'll get a card on her because who is she, or what's she about? Knight of Swords. See, something happens very quickly right here. Something ended real quick here. Somebody has an awakening, and then they decide, you know what, my life is, uh, I don't want this life anymore. Yeah, wow. I just kind of got off the phone with somebody who told me the same thing. Oh my God, about their life. Yeah, they did. And they are an air sign, so they're not, but there could be an air sign in this reading for sure. There could be any, right? Uh, this Knight of Swords could be an air sign as well, right? Now, here in the near future, Capricorn, this is all beautiful, but somebody's overwhelmed because they want the Four of Wands with you. They want this solid union, like a stable relationship with you. Here's the King of Pentacles right next to the Four of Wands. They want this. They could be another earth sign, though. It's possible. Um, and they are overwhelmed. Maybe if you'll have enough courage, possibly. But I feel like this person has grown and gained their own mastery, their own self mastery, which is strength of character, right? With the strength card. Maybe they have tamed the wild in them, but they were like, I feel like this person has learned this self mastery, right? Totality is about self. It is a version uh, of self mastery. Yeah, it is. And so, yeah, and then we have, yeah, be open to infinite possibilities. So, but this is like, this person could have learned the hard way, because we have strength of character here with the strength card next to the Seven of Wands. This person has like suffered something in their life, and, like a breakup, or just suffered something. Could have been just hard lessons possibly. But with that, yeah, they, with all that chaos and instability, they really kind of turn into somebody who is of great character. Yeah, somebody of great character, and somebody who believes they could most likely be married to you and be happy, or be in a solid relationship with you and be happy. Yeah, it's either one. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. It does help me with the YouTube algorithm. I really do appreciate you guys. Hit the little bell if you want to receive notifications. And also, uh, yeah, if you want a reading with me, you guys, they're lots of fun. Check out the description box.